Hey everyone, quick video message for today. Our Zoom meeting from this morning didn't record properly to my computer, so we don't have that one, but it's no big deal. I'm just going to go over some of the basics of what we had today. We didn't have too many questions from people today, so what I'll do here on this brief video message is just kind of go over the particulars of what's going on with the final exam, when it's due, and some other course announcements here real briefly. First thing is that you guys got to make sure that please check through your grades on the Canvas site. Make sure that everything is up to date and completed. Okay, I've sent a lot of uh, emails out to people, Canvas messages out to people that don't have their forums completed. That's been the big thing. I haven't graded incomplete forums from people, and they're mainly incomplete because you haven't made a reply to a classmate. And that's 5 points out of 25, which means that you're automatically only starting with an 80 on that if you don't have a reply. So make sure, guys, that you get those replies in and that you make sure that everything is completed by next Friday, May the 8th, okay? That's when everything is due, and that's when everything is got to be completed by. I can't extend it out any further than that because I have to get grades done that weekend. Okay, so make sure that the current forum post, which was due tonight, but make sure that is also something that you complete and get a reply into somebody as quickly as possible if you haven't done that yet. And then make sure you check through your grades and make sure everything else is complete. The final exam is due, well, first of all, the final exam will become available on Monday. And you can work on it at any time throughout the week. I know I've mentioned this before on previous Zoom casts, but I'm mentioning it again. You can work on it on any of the days next week during final exam week, as long as it's done and completed and turned in by by Friday, May the 8th at the latest. You'll have 150 minutes on the exam. All right, that's 2.5 hours. That's going to be plenty of time to complete this exam. Okay, and if you have any questions or concerns about that, please send messages to me. There's going to be 150 points available. Remember, what we're doing is we're squishing together quiz number 4 and the final exam. So it's 150 points available to you next week on that exam material. There's going to be probably around 25 to 30 questions, and the format is exactly the same as our quizzes have been. All right, so you're going to get some true falses, you're going to get some multiple choice, you're going to get some, those multiple answer type questions where, it say something like, for instance, can you identify all the W's of detail that are associated with Otto von Bismarck? Okay, something like that's going to be a guaranteed question next week. Okay, I've also mentioned other guaranteed questions as I've gone through the notes that I've posted on those Zoomcasts. So please review those, get your notes in line, make sure that you got all your W's of detail ready to go, and that you're able to access them quickly during the exam time. Again, 2.5 hours is a long time to be able to do that, but it will go somewhat quickly. And in order to alleviate any anxiety during the testing process, make sure that you're in a distraction-free, quiet environment, and that you have your notes surrounding you, your book if you need it, anything that you can reference. Remember, only use the course sources, the things that I've linked on Canvas, your notes, the textbook. Don't bring in anything, from outside sources. Don't go referencing things from Wikipedia or grab something off the internet and throw it into your examples because it'll show itself, and that's not going to be conducive to scoring well on this exam. I think other than that, if you do have any other types of exam questions as far as format goes, don't hesitate to send me messages or Canvas message me on that via the email. Right here, we're starting off sharing the screen. So what's going to be on the exam? We're going back to the beginning of your student learning module number 4, which is romanticism. Okay, so basically it's everything from romanticism forward to the completion of World War I, which we put the notes up yesterday with those. Okay, so basically you're going back to romanticism. What was it? Could you identify it? Can you identify maybe a picture from romanticism? If I were to put one up, then one of the ones that we looked at from our notes, those types of things. All right, as we scroll down a little bit, we then got into nationalism, Napoleon. We watched some stuff on Napoleon. We got into a lot of detail on Napoleon. So make sure you're picking up on those things that we reviewed with Napoleon. Again, review those Zoom sessions if you need to. Pick up on the notes. Talk to each other. All right. Text each other. Send each other messages if you're having trouble picking up on something, or send me messages if you're having trouble getting together your notes in the best fashion possible. We then got into nationalism, national anthems. We looked at the unification of Germany, the unification of Italy. We listened to all those good anthems. And we discussed those, so be able to pick up on the W's and the detail from that. We then moved into imperialism, and we talked about the Congress at the conference at Berlin. We talked about the carving up of Africa, the United States' role in taking possessions from South America, Central and South America, as well as the Caribbean and the Pacific. So make sure you're picking up on what the European nations were doing during imperialism, what the American situation was during imperialism, and you're able to cover that and access those details as quickly as possible on the final exam. And then last but not leastly, of course, we went over the beginnings, the causes behind World War I. We went through the course of World War I, and then we finished it up with the aftermath with that Zoom that I posted yesterday with those notes. So making sure that you're reading and viewing those, that you are able to, like I said, describe, look in your notes, get as many details underneath each big section as you can. And then that way you're able to, you will be able to do perfectly fine on this test. This exam, like I said, I'm not out to trick you or anything. You know exactly what's going to be on it. And if you do have any other questions on those types of things, don't hesitate to send them to me. Other than that, we didn't really have a lot of questions from the Zoom room today. But I just wanted to make sure again that you check your grades, that you are ready to take the test when you click begin next week, and that you again are in a distraction-free environment. You're able to do the best that you can on it. I anticipate everyone scoring well on this exam. And remember, it's due at the latest by next Friday, May the 8th, but it's going to be available to you the whole week to complete whenever you do want to carve out some time to complete that exam. And then, like I said today at the end of the Zoom session, this has been a fantastic class. I really have enjoyed working with you all. And anything you guys need from me in the future, just let me know. If it's a reference for a job application, or a letter of rec for a scholarship, or anything along those lines, don't hesitate to ask me. You know right where I'll be. I'll be in my office. And we got that information today from the president that we'll be starting on time in the fall, which is just fantastic news. And I can't wait to see everybody back on campus in August. So again, any other questions, don't hesitate to send me any messages. And until then, everybody, I can't wait to see you in the fall. I think this has been a great class, and I do thank you again for your willingness and your perseverance to really succeed as we pivoted to remote learning. All right, guys. So it's been fun. It's been interesting. And I wish you all nothing but the best in everything that you do in the future. Take care, everybody.